Donald Trump is still the future of the Republican Party. People following that America First agenda.
But it might as well be the Trump money first agenda. And Donald Jr. is in legal trouble.
How confident are you now, Attorney General, that the Trump family, Donald Trump Jr., broke the law?
I'm extremely confident of that. We're before a court, and at the end of the day, the court will decide.
The case involves the 2017 Trump inauguration.
But the evidence is clear. The Trump business and the Trump family used the not-for-profit to profit themselves. That's why the Presidential Inauguration Commission paid so much money for rooms and event space that were far above market rate.
In addition to allegations of grifting and using a nonprofit to enrich himself and his family, Donald Trump Jr. may also now face charges of lying under oath. Hello, everybody. I'm David Shuster, and thanks for watching. As first reported by Mother Jones on February the 11th in a lawsuit deposition, Donald Trump Jr. was asked about Stephanie Winston Wolkoff. She was a lead producer of the Trump Inauguration Committee and warned the committee, a nonprofit, not to pay exorbitant fees to the Trump for-profit hotel. But the committee did it anyway. When Donald Trump Jr. was asked under oath, "Do you know Stephanie Winston Wolkoff?" he responded, "I don't know her." He even said that if she was in the room, he might not recognize her. But this video obtained by Mother Jones from an inauguration event shows Donald Trump Jr. and his father praising Stephanie Winston Wolkoff.
Stephanie, what a job. What a job.
Yeah, what Tom and Stephanie did here is just incredible. Man, I've never seen anything like it. I think it too will go down in history.
Again, Donald Trump Jr. testified under oath on February the 11th that he didn't know Stephanie Winston Wolkoff. And never mind the video proving that he did know her, there are also emails. On January 17, 2017, 3 days before the inauguration, Donald Trump Jr. emailed Wolkoff, writing, quote, "Thank you, Stephanie. I wanted to see if you're still possibly looking for talent. Some friends of mine that are quite big in the industry have been asking around and would be able to put together a pretty impressive roster." Stephanie Winston Wolkoff refused to comment on the specifics of Donald Jr.'s testimony, but she issued a statement saying, quote, "I did not think it was right for the Trump family or the Trump family businesses to be financially profiting from the presidential inauguration. It was a gross mismanagement of funds and an abuse of authority. And I made it very clear to the people in the Trump family and the inauguration committee how I felt." There are other instances where it appears Donald Trump Jr. lied under oath about these issues. He testified he didn't work with anybody in the fundraising arm of the inaugural committee. But Sarah Armstrong, who was CEO of the committee, testified that Trump Jr. attended fundraising meetings. Donald Trump Jr. has a record of lying. When news emerged about a June 2016 Trump Tower meeting he had with Russian operatives to try and dig up dirt on Hillary Clinton, Jr. issued a statement saying it was to discuss a program about the adoption of Russian children. Now, it's not unusual for people to also lie under oath in civil lawsuit depositions. However, a defendant can still face criminal charges of perjury. Furthermore, lies generally hurt a lawsuit defense. In this case, the Attorney General of Washington, D.C. is looking to recover millions of dollars that the Trump Inauguration Committee, a nonprofit, paid to Trump businesses. The Attorney General wants to redirect those funds to real charitable purposes. One can only hope there will also be criminal charges for perjury brought against Donald Trump Jr. and possibly other members of the Trump family in public, as well as in sworn testimony. The Trumps often seem incapable of telling the truth.